Yeah, a lot of gratitude for the journey. Every season is different, has its challenges, adversity. We haven't made it easy on ourselves. Really the second, really all season, I guess. But I'm proud of our guys. From really the, quasi 2-minute drive at the end of the first half, through the second half, we played really good ball on offense. So I'm proud of the way that we responded multiple times after they took a lead. And it just takes a little belief at this point in the season. There's 14 teams that'll be left. 18 will be playing their off season. It's good to be a part of the 14 after so many years. 22 we lost in the last game to make the playoffs. 23 I was out. 24 we were terrible. So it's nice to be back in this position.
Aaron, what was it like to be Calvin's touchdown? What you saw, how it developed for you?
Calvin's the sweetest guy. I mean, he is just ever since the Malibu trip in the off season. Just have such a love and appreciation for Cal and his disposition. And multiple times in the huddle, I'm asking him on various plays, "What do you want on the backside? What do you want on the backside?" And he wouldn't give me a straight answer. And on this particular huddle conversation, I said, "What do you want, Cal?" He said, and somebody to my right, I don't know if it was McCormick or Pat, said something about like, "Man, just go cook him" or something. So I said, "All right, Cal, you run the hitch and go back there." And I was really thinking the front side three-man combination that we worked and had success with most of the night was kind of my first thought. But I just peeked back to the left and saw number 3 slip, and it's a gimme touchdown. But I'm proud of Calvin, and the line really gave me a lot of time all day. They played really well.
What are your sense about this passing offense? You guys able to make big plays in a big game without DK Metcalf, the guy who's been a leader for you guys a lot this year.
Well, we got a lot of talented guys, a lot of capable guys. Proud of the way that we responded. There's some things that happened in the game that we've been trying to get to the entire season, hadn't really shown up. Like Pat on the second last drive had a big, double up stutter down the middle completion. We've been talking about that thing since Latrobe and haven't really had a lot of opportunities. But he ran just an absolute beautiful route that kind of set us up. Then we had the craziness of the helmet conking out and the personnel groupings we had on the field and the wristband. I mean, it was chaos. But we got to a good call there on third down to run it in, and then the 2-minute drive. Started off with a nice, quick game completion, and I thought we were efficient and had a chance on third down to go to Cal, and he ran a good route, and we made it happen.
You've had a lot of what was going on that goal to go with the timeouts?
I couldn't hear anything. In that situation, you can, because of the personnel we had on the field, we had big personnel on the field. I mean, Spence was in the game. There's not a whole lot of plays we can get to, that I can just call kind of off the cuff. We did it on the one, and I was thinking, this is way too important. We're down by 4 points. We need a touchdown here. Who cares about the timeouts at this point? I couldn't believe, though, when we got the replacement helmet, that one didn't work either. I mean, poor Derek, who's the absolute best, handling the helmets on the sideline. We're trying to figure it out. But, we got to a good call on that third down play we've been working on. Kenny ran it in. Mason had a really nice block. And then, thankfully, we didn't need really the helmet on the last drive, but it was kind of back to normal a little bit.
What was Aaron trying to give you?
Yeah, there's a wristband. So I've been kind of most of my career anti-wristband. Mike McCarthy was always anti-wristband. But Matt LaFleur has the longest play calls in the league. Mike McDaniel actually probably does. But Matt had some long ones. So I started wearing the wristband. And so I haven't been wearing it this year. But Mason likes to have the wristband on the sideline. And he threw it out to me. And I thought the backup helmet was going to work, so I threw it back and ran out there, and the backup helmet wasn't working. So we were, in some communication issues.
Aaron, how would you describe how your teammates handled that moment? What was that like to be with them in that situation?
Which one?
The end of the game, that last drive you guys had.
That was good. I mean, we talked. We had 2:20 to start, and no timeouts. And I just said, let's try and finish the game with the. Let's run it down there and score with not much time left. So the reminder is always, in that situation, yards over time until you get to a minute. And, called just kind of a slant from the backside and a 3-man combination away. Calvin made a nice catch and run. let it go to 2 minutes, and then we had some efficient passes, and looked like there might have been a hold on the second down, but we came back and converted on third down. It was kind of pandemonium, but we knew we still had some time on the clock. And then, I mean, Lamar was making some wild plays tonight, which you expect because he's such a talented player. He's going to be a gold jacket when it's all said and done, but I'm glad they missed that last one.
Aaron, you talked about not making it easy on yourselves over the course of the season. This team's dealt with a lot of adversity. It's shown a lot of resilience. Where do you feel like that's come from, that you guys always seem to get back up off the mat?
I think there's a lot of belief in the leadership of the team. You know, I think there's an important part of the leadership role in being as even keel as possible and always believing you got a chance. But it takes moments like this. You know, we back in 2010. We were 9-6 playing Chicago last game of the year, and we eked out a close one in the fourth quarter, 10-3, and it gave us a little bit of belief. And then we went on a run where we were underdogs, I believe, the entire playoffs. We're underdogs at home tonight against our division rival. I think it's going to give us some belief. Now we're playing, I believe, the Texans. Is that right? They're coming off 9 in a row, I think. So who knows if they'll make us an underdog again at home, but the belief level in the locker room after a win like this is exponentially greater, which is what you want to have going into next week. And then obviously we had DK back.
Aaron, Patrick Queen just said that he didn't watch that last field goal attempt, that he just stared straight ahead. Did you watch the last field goal?
Of course, yeah, I watched it.
What was going through your mind?
A lot of emotions. Couldn't believe we're in that position. Hope he doesn't make it. You know, it's always kind of, you watch the kicker. I was watching Ben too because he was trying to block it. And, you know, you're watching the kicker and the ball just seemed to be heading right to start. So, you know, it's chaos, disbelief, gratitude, a lot of emotions. Just really thankful, and that's why I told Mr. Rooney and Andy and Omar just to be able to get brought in here and be a part of this team, and just the way I bonded with the guys and the way they've put their arms around me and allowed me to be myself and listen to me and let me lead and inspire me the way they have. It's a good group of guys.
He hasn't gotten the bulk of targets this year, but he continues to come up and seems like in big moments for you guys. What can you say about his focus to be there when you need him, especially in those huge moments today?
I have a lot of respect for Pat, first and foremost, the way he's handled himself this entire season. Pat is a dynamic player, and with the emergence of Darnell and the big personnel that we've done, he hasn't had as many snaps as he's used to or would have wanted, but not one time this entire year, and he's my locker mate, so I can say this with absolute confidence and 100% honesty, not one time did I hear him complain about his snap count, about anything. It was, there's a lot to be said for that. I think that's a lost part of this league, to be able to humble yourself and kind of lean into the collective instead of making it about yourself week in and week out when he knows he can play. And he made plays last week on the 2 minute, and he made plays in the fourth quarter, really all game. You know, I thought we did a good job. Just little things that you talk about in Latrobe and you hope show up. We had a 3rd and 10. We went on a first sound, a center snap by Zach, right, where he just kind of goes up, waits, and snaps it. And they bring strong dog. They bring the mic, and they bring 44 off the slot. And we talked from day one when I got here. I like throwing vertical peaks, first pressure. So start off by looking vertical. And we actually kind of like made eye contact in the huddle and just said, be alert. And then sure enough, he widens slightly like he's supposed to. He catches the ball with his hands. He gets 14 yards, and that's a drive continuer. We talked on through routes. If you get 2-man, double up, take your time, give him an outbreak look, and then go down the middle. And on the second last drive, he ran an absolutely unbelievable route. And it was just perfect. I mean, I'm literally throwing it, kind of laughing at myself because I'm like, this is it. See, I've been talking about this forever. But I'm just really proud of him. I can't say enough good things about Pat. He is an exceptional human and a great teammate, and there's a lot to be said for that in this league.
Two more. What did you see on the touchdown pass to Austin, and how important was it to have him back?
Yeah, it was good to have Cal back. He's a great player. He's one of the sweetest guys on the team, and just a guy who really wants to do right all the time. And I was saying earlier, we were just trying to get him to give me some confidence on what he wanted on the backside of some of these 3-by-1 concepts, and he finally, on that one, he wouldn't kind of put a stamp on something. So I said, all right, hitch and go, and he ran a good route. But there were other plays that he made today that were instinctive, and some show up in the stat box, and some don't. But really proud of all of our guys, and excited to get DK back.
You mentioned belief before, and talking to guys this week. A lot of people thought that even though you were shorthanded a little bit, you could help elevate guys around you. And so when so many people are counting on you to deliver like that, does that part still resonate with you at this point in your career?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want. You want the ball in your hands with 2:20 left, and you need a touchdown. That's exactly what you want. And I was calm all day long, with the gravity of the game and knowing what was in store for us. But I was confident that I was going to play a good game, and that I could kind of be the magnetic force out there to keep guys confident and calm. And even that 2-minute, I was like, we're good. We're going to go down and score, and don't worry about it, boys. But I think that's part of it, being the old guy, having a lot of gray in your beard, is they expect things from you, and it's nice to be able to deliver in moments like that.
All right. Thanks, TJ's the third time I think you wanted to do this.
You guys have won the division since you've been on the team. What does it feel like? I think the last one came in 2020, 2021. Just the emotions running through you guys right now.
It feels awesome, man. Winning is tough in this league, man. It's so tough. You put so much work into it. 9th season, like you said, to win it 3 times just lets you know how rare it is, how much you need to appreciate it. But with that comes not getting a win in the playoffs. So we're not just here to take part, man. We want to come in here and we want to win games.
What was the scene in there after the game? What can you...
Cigar smoke everywhere, man. Try to get out of there as quick as possible.
How you feel, TJ?
I feel really good. Honestly, I feel really good. We'll see how I feel these next couple of days. Nice that we're playing Monday, so I get an extra day. But I honestly, I'm really pleased with how I felt. Hats off to the training staff, strength staff for getting me ready to go. Felt great out there tonight.
TJ, what did you see on the interception with the deflection by Heyward?
Just trying to rush. I mean, anytime you play hard, man, the ball finds you and you just make plays. And anytime you feel like you need to make a play, you just got to go as hard as you possibly can, as fast as you can. And even though I wasn't able to get to the quarterback, the ball just popped up in my ear, and I was able to make the play. But I think it was Cam or Keanu who made the batted pass, man. That's what started it all.
TJ, what went through your mind during the Ravens' last field goal attempt? Were you able to watch it? I mean, what was kind of happening for you?
Yeah, I was out there for it, so I saw it. Obviously just really excited. Anytime you can win a football game, especially against 2 historic franchises, I mean, it feels like every time we get together, we're talking about just those legacy type plays, and just huge moments every time we get together, and glad we were on the winning end of it this time.
What do you say about Lamar Jackson as an opponent? 3 explosive plays he hit against you guys. You guys were locking a lot of the underneath stuff down, but for him to stay focused and make big plays to put pressure on you guys, it just seemed like another great game between you guys.
I mean, yeah, he's MVP for a reason. They know us, we know them. I feel like right when you feel like you have him bottled up, you have him right where you want him, he makes one of those big-time MVP plays. And we know those things are going to happen, but to be able to bow up in big-time moments as good as we possibly could, obviously there's a lot more plays out there that we want to make. Just happy to have a win, man.
TJ, your thoughts on just your ability, you and the defense ability to pretty much shut down Henry and the offense, the running attack of the Ravens?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously the first play of the game, they had a good scheme of what we've done in the past, and after that they had a couple good runs, but I mean, we really stopped stopped them from there on out, especially coming out of halftime. We just really wanted to blow up on the run, knowing what they wanted to do. It all just comes down to gap sound football, getting hats to the ball, trying to strike at the football as much as we possibly could. And we just played with a lot of energy tonight, a lot of passion, a lot of want to, and I'm just really proud of our guys.
Did you explain the adjustment that you guys made, that you saw that they were doing, that you guys had to adjust against to stop that run in the second half?
Just running the ball, just commitment to it. I think it's just, anytime you watch a run play, it's always someone out there gap, someone missing a tackle. There's nothing mystical to any of it, and it's just about when one thing goes wrong, we can't all try to fix it. We all just have to know that the next play, we're all going to do our job. Once you start trying to play Superman ball is when you're in trouble.
People often say that teams take on the personality of their head coach. Do you see that with this team?
Yeah. I think for 9 years you've seen it. We have a lot of resiliency. We have a lot of fun. We love football. We love the process. We really lean on each other in moments. It's cool when you see the ball in the hands of 8 there. It's like, he's here for a reason. This is why he's here. This is the best dude in the NFL for this moment. And to be able to see him deliver on a big stage like that was incredible to see.
Talk about resiliency. You guys have dealt with a lot over the last month. You personally and the team. Why does this team have that? How does it keep getting back up through all the punches you've taken?
It goes back to leadership. It goes back to coaching. It just goes back to want to, for love of the game, for the process, for understanding how rare of an opportunity we have to play the game that we love for a living, and to play big-time moments in front of big-time crowds like that. You can just feel the weight of each and every play out there tonight. And I can't wait for next week to feel it again. And I think we just have a lot of guys who understand the importance of the moment and understand how rare it is to be exactly where we are and just appreciate the moment. And when those big-time plays are to be made, the majority of the time we've been able to make them. But obviously there's a lot more to make.
You mentioned Aaron.
Playoff game, there weren't any fans here, and so now you guys are playing a game next week, do or die again, playoff game at home. There'll be fans here. So what's the excitement level for that like?
Through the roof. Tonight was, arguably the best atmosphere I've been a part of here in Pittsburgh. It was absolutely incredible. The fans were loud when they needed to be loud. They were quiet when they needed to be quiet. Renegade was played at a great time. I know we didn't deliver for Renegade, but just an incredible atmosphere, man. This is why we play.
You mentioned Aaron. What was it like in those moments to have him as your teammate in those scenarios when the offense needed to score?
Yeah, it was a weird no panic feeling. It was just calm. It wasn't just confident, man. We've seen him work a 2-minute drill so many times. We've seen those ball at the 2-yard line, 7 shots type plays so many times, and just complete confidence in him in the offense.
TJ, how did your first hit back feel? Did you have any emotions around that? And were there any points today where you're like, hey, I'm back here, I'm not on the sideline, or wherever you're watching the last 3 games?
No, honestly, no. That was part of why I felt so comfortable playing tonight, was that if I was going to play, I knew I was going to be able to play to the best of my ability as fast as I possibly could. And honestly, my legs just felt really fresh, so that was exciting.
What can you say about Cam Heyward? What can you say about he's coming in? But what can you say about Cam Heyward? It seemed like he was fighting every play like he always is, and you two as teammates for all the battles that you guys have been through, especially against this team.
Yeah, took a big hit on the first play of the game too, and he was right back out there the next play or a couple plays after that, and just always around the football, man. The defensive tackle at 45 years old is incredible. Just awesome to have him as a teammate, honestly. Just the leadership. Gave a great speech last night, gave a great speech today. It's important to win, and there's certain people you want to deliver wins for, and he's definitely one of those guys. So I know he might not be able to fit this hat, but I'm excited that he's got one.
TJ, talk about what this game could do for this particular team. Last week, you had a chance to wrap it up. However, tonight was win or go home. So how can this particular game help you going into the playoffs?
I think it's just momentum. Understand that we can deliver when it gets thick, and just a lot of belief, man. Truly a lot of belief in offense, defense, special teams. We have the tools. We just need to go out and deliver.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Two-way player, huh?
Yeah, I don't know who asked me about that during the week, and I was like, damn, they must know our plays. But yeah, the first one was a little jumpy, and I kind of tackled him.
Yeah, he was kind of pissed at me. Like we got a chance to redeem ourselves after that.
Kim, what can you say about just, you've been through so many battles with this Ravens team, and just about this battle in particular, and what you guys had to do to get off the mat after last week?
We had to get off the mat today. Shoot. You know, we shot ourselves in the foot a couple different times, and we did not play a perfect game by any means. But in different moments, the offense, defense, special teams all stepped up. And, you know, coming off of last week, I think the main thing we just said was, it's in our house, we have a chance, and you got to relish these moments. You can't go away from them. This is what we all been waiting for. You know, last year, you know, the playoffs, going to Baltimore, we were really hurt by that. I remember me and TJ just sitting in the training room, just kind of scratching our heads. And to get out here this year and, you know, play the same team, had some success in different ways, but it was a team performance. There's not a guy in that locker room that didn't step up in a different way, and we needed everybody today.
And what did you guys do in the second half so well to stop Henry?
I thought we were in our gaps a little bit better. You know, that first play kind of bludgeoned us a good bit, and, you know, after that we kind of were more stout, you know, used our hands, stayed in our gaps, preached a lot to our guys about just staying patient. It's not just about, you know, throwing off a block and trying to make a play. I can't say enough good things about my D-line, you know, our outside linebackers. Everybody had a big part in that. Our outsides did a great job setting the edge. Derek Harmon, Wyatt Black, Keanu Benton, Asezi Otamoe, Logan Lee, everybody had a hand in this. And we talked all week about, if we're going to win this game, it's because of everybody, not just one guy.
Can we just ask TJ, what was it like for you in that situation where it's win or go home, knowing that Aaron Rodgers had the ball for your offense?
TJ said to me, he was like, that's why we brought him here. And, you know, he delivered. Our defense was a little bit all over, all sorts. But we lived to fight another day, and, you know, I was kind of pissed at myself because I was dealing with some cramps at the end of the game, and they were kind of prevent me from going in the game. But then on the field goal block, I was just like, screw it. I got one opportunity. And he missed it, and the rest is history. But just a crazy game. You never fall asleep early during the Baltimore and Pittsburgh games.
TJ said you spoke to the team last night. What was the message you were trying to get across to the guys?
Kind of what I alluded to, was just about, we waited for this opportunity for a year to be back in this situation. And, you know, we're out of excuses. If we're going to win this game, it's about trying to stop that high-powered offense over there. And, you know, we got to be the reason why we win. We don't have to look anywhere else. And hopefully we've lost our last game.
What does Mike Tomlin do to help you guys as a team be ready for a moment like this?
Stir the pot, you know, stoke the fire, you know, whether it's poking the bear or saying some quippy things here and there. But I think his consistency and his message, the way he identifies what's going to win the game, and, you know, looking at past performances, looking at where we fell short, where we excelled, those all play a big part. And I think our team does a great job of just, you know, accepting that. I don't think we really have an ego when a guy gets called out in meeting. It's all about the get better with our group.
What was Mike like pre-game tonight? It looked like, I mean, he was really fired up.
My team was my team. That was as simple as that.
Which pots did he stir this week, or which bears did he poke?
He talked about, starts with Derrick Henry. I would love to get that first play back because that kind of just spills over everything. But, this game always comes down to moments. You can look through the history of this game, and this was nothing short of those moments.
Along those lines, Pat Frymouth was just saying he wanted to win this game for Coach Tomlin. That was one of the things. Do you feel similarly? Was that a motivating factor for you?
I think we wanted to win this game for us. I kind of told the guys before the game, be selfish in saying that we all pay a price for this. Obviously we want Coach Tomlin to be our coach, but I want everybody in that locker room to, hold their head high because they did the work too. They're deserving of the work. And if we go further in these playoffs, it's because everybody locked in and did their job.
Cam, how important was the crowd for you guys tonight, and how big is it to be back here next week?
I'm excited. I thought they brought a lot of energy in that second half, and you could just, even though it was a little bit back and forth, you felt like when we scored those 10 points, I felt like we were just gaining momentum, and the crowd was just with us.
Cam, what makes you so good with batted balls? I believe you batted a ball that TJ got for an interception.
I don't know if it was me or Alex, but I'm not going to get the sack every time, and I got a bunch of good rushers that usually get the sacks. But it's about staying ready, having awareness. And we talk a lot about those situations where you might have a chance at that.
That was about as close as a game can be, and it was win or go home. How do you sum up just the razor's edge between if he makes that kick, it comes to a home versus now you guys got everything in front of you?
I'm not going to ask questions. The good Lord made a good decision tonight. I am thankful, and we keep moving on. But I'm excited to keep moving on, and excited to bring a guy like DK Metcalf back to the group.
Cam, you mentioned that when Aaron was scoring, TJ said to you that's why we brought him here. But what did you see from Aaron tonight in terms of how his veteran leadership and skill set helped the offense and the team?
I think it's just his unwavering mindset. I think, he's able to steer the ship. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He's able to challenge guys. But you never feel like, the momentum has got him or he's out of sorts. He reads the game, understands what a team is trying to do in certain situations, and he knows how to manipulate, the clock, coverage, and to have a guy that has seen every type of defense allows you to go into a lot of gunfights and feel like you have a chance.
Cam, you're in there on the last field goal. Do you try to get your head around and see, or is it the crowd that you hear first? That you realize?
I got my head around and I saw it, and I was like, damn, he missed it. But, we haven't had a lot of misses here. So, I remember it was early on in my career, Tucker hit one to win the game, and that was kind of ended our season. So we were due to give him one back.
He gave you credit as just being a guy. You joked in college that you were 45 years old, but still chasing guys down all around the field, always being around the ball. You also said you couldn't fit the hat. But
I wasn't putting on the hat for a reason. I want a different hat. So
But what do you look back on just how you approach every season with giving yourself this ability at your age to play as much as you do? You lead all defensive tackles and snaps in the NFL.
It's an opportunity to hopefully have a chance to win a championship. I work my tail off in the offseason to be ready for my teammates. And, I'm not ready to start my offseason. And You know, I think back to that first play. I'm running my ass off, and then James Pierre hits me in the hip, and I'm like, shit, why am I running to the ball? But you know, I've been instilled by a lot of great players here. I learned from a lot of just special players. Troy, Brett, Aaron Smith, Casey Hampton. Guys I didn't even play with, Joey Porter. Like, they've all been in my ear. And, you know, even when I didn't want to hear it, they were honest with me. And I just appreciate the guys who came before me, the guys who taught me how to be a professional. This game is about passing on, you know, good fortune to a lot of other players. Hopefully I've done the same, but I'm just honestly jealous of them. They have something that I don't have, and you know, when they all come back for their reunions, you know, I want to be able to, you know, have some hardware one day.
Speaking of that, with so much emphasis and build-up and excitement for this game, how do you then sort of instill the confidence to the rest of the guys that you can make a Super Bowl run? And
Playing with house money. I don't think anybody wanted us to be here. I don't think anybody expected it. I think the NFL definitely got their money's worth with this game. But you can look at our journey from week 1 to week 18. And we were a playoff football team, you know, and now we have a chance to keep moving on in the dance.
What did you mean when you said nobody wanted you?
I don't think anybody expected us to even win the AFC North. You know, we've got MVPs in our division. We have Heisman winners, you know, and a lot of respect for those guys. But I don't think anybody gave us a chance with our old quarterback. You know, he's still a gunslinger, and we get to keep moving on.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.